Hi, everybody. In today's episode, you're going to find out what I have been up to. Now, I told you last night during my live, I was part of a jury selection. I had jury duty. And if you want to know how that turned out, you can watch the live video. But if you want to hear what the case was after I didn't get selected, I decided I would stay as a public spectator and watch the trial. So, we're going to hear all about this. Stay tuned. So, I have never brought you a Wichita case. I know, from where I live. Yes. The state of Kansas versus Kaylin Jackson. That is the case that I was going to be I was a potential juror that was not selected for that case, but I wanted to sit and watch it. So we learned through the selection process the previous day. It took the entire day. That that Mr. Jackson is on trial for rape, sodomy, burglary, battery, and domestic violence. 5 charges. And he has bonded out. He is not in custody. So he appeared in plain clothes in front of the jury with his attorney, Stephanie Burton. And the prosecutor was named Atticus Disney. Now, I joked around with him, told him, I have to joke about your name. Atticus, because his father enjoyed To Kill a Mockingbird. And Disney, because he liked to, that was his name, Disney. No relationship to Walt, unfortunately. So I'm going to break this up into 2 parts because it's kind of lengthy what occurred today. I came back after jury selection today, came back to hear opening statements and the state's case in chief. The state put on their case, and by the end of the day, they had concluded, they had rested their case. So tomorrow, they're putting on the defense case. Now, I'm going to break up the state case into 2 episodes because, I can only hold your attention for 30 minutes. You know that. Sometimes not even that. But I'll lose you at an hour, and you're going to miss all the good stuff if I keep you going for over an hour. So I'll break it up into 2 parts. Then you can catch up over the weekend with, what happened in this crazy case. Yeah. So let me get to the notes, and I will tell you what happened. So opening statements were very brief. I guess, I'm used to what we see on YouTube, on Court TV or Law and Crime, where, these guys will sometimes talk for hours. Like, good Lord. Because we know opening statements are not evidence. Where is my notes? Hold on. Got to find the notes. What did I do in them? Oh boy. Hold on. This is not working out. There they are. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So out of the 50 potential jurors, 13 were chosen to hear this case. Like I said, very brief opening statements. The prosecutor, Atticus, he got up. He said the defendant, he broke into the home of Skylar Young. Now, the defendant, he's like 28, 29 years old. The victim, Skylar Young, she's like 25 at the time of this event, now 26 years old. This occurred on November 18th of 2023 in Wichita, which is part of Sedgwick County. We were at the Sedgwick County courthouse today. So he broke into her home, pulled her pants down, and assaulted her. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because you might have small children listening too. So I'm going to give you a warning. Put your earbuds in just in case. You know me. I got a big mouth. Things tend to slip out that shouldn't. So, and the man is charged with rape and sodomy. So it is what it is. So they struggle. He rapes her. She gets away. She runs away with no pants on, goes to the next door neighbor who happens to be her sister-in-law, and 911 is called. During the event, she was manually strangled and hit in the head a couple of times. So, and that was the opening. Hand to God, that was it. Okay. Then the defense gets up, also very brief. And I was very impressed during jury selection. She was really good. I thought she was, she spoke up. She was, kind of telling sort of a story about being on a plane and anyway, whatever. So she said, well, it was all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. That this was consensual sex, that there had been text messages between the victim and the defendant regarding a specific type of sex known as C and C. And I'm thinking, what? Never heard of it. I thought I knew. I'm old. I thought I knew all this. No, I did not. Consent not to consent. Think about it. So he knocked on her door. She said, hold on, let me put the dog up. They had had a prior relationship, but it had been about 6 weeks since they spoke. And that the plan was he would come to Kansas. He would come from Kansas City. Wichita is in the middle of the state of Kansas, and 2.5 hours east of us, on the border of Missouri and Kansas, is Kansas City. So he was living in Kansas City. She was in Wichita. So he drives over from Kansas City. That was their plan for makeup sex, and they planned to have a They planned to have a kinky sexual encounter. So she lets him in, not one door, 2 doors. Her front door consisted of a storm door that opened outward. And then once you opened that, the other door opened inward. And she lets him in both doors. She told him she wanted to be choked and thrown around. At some point, unfortunately, Mr. Jackson let her know he had a girlfriend, which probably wasn't a great idea on his part. Yeah, I'm going to say no. She got upset. She walked out of her house and went next door. He leaves the house with his pants on and his hoodie, goes home, and on his way home, he tries to call her. She don't answer. That's the opening statements, folks. Yep. Okay. So at this point, the judge asks the jury, which I'm not on, I'm part of the public now, to go back to the jury room. Something had come across his screen that he needed to address with the attorneys. And I'm thinking, ooh, what? Has there been a bomb scare? What's going on? So it's a good thing I'm not on the jury. I'd be like raising my hand. He says, apparently this prosecutor, and he kept saying some prosecutor, not necessarily you, Mr. Disney, because apparently he was the 4th prosecutor on this case. And I don't know that Ms. Burton was the first defense attorney on the case, but she was not aware. Some prosecutor had decided this was going to be 2 charges of rape, not just 1. But nobody knew anything about that until Atticus Disney mentions it in his openings, that there were 2 charges of rape. And the judge is like, excuse me, 2 charges of rape? I don't think so. Where is the information on this second charge? There isn't any. There's no information. And information has to come with charges. It's a piece of paper that talks about, why you're being charged with something. That was never filed with that second rape charge. And the judge says, this is unfair to the defendant. The defense attorney knows nothing about this. I know nothing about this. The jury knows nothing about this. This is unfair to the defendant. We're not trying that. No, we're trying the case, the 5 charges, not 6. Go back and tell the state attorney? Too bad, because he works for the state attorney. So now he's got to go back to his boss and say, hey, I don't know, but that second charge, that's like a rape charge on, but no. So from what I'm gathering is at some point during this event, this encounter, it starts, stops, and then restarts. This victim said this encounter lasted 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so some prosecutor along the way decided it was 2 charges and not 1. Well, the judge said, no, we're not doing that. So then he brings the jury back in. We get to hear the 911 call after he has to send the jury out again to bring IT into the courtroom to fix the microphone for the witnesses, and something happened with the computers because nobody could hear the 911 call. So that all gets worked out, and we bring the jury back in. Then we get to hear the 911 call, which I will play for you here.
We actually checked it before the jury walked in. So.
Permission to file this case due to the one.
Well, let's roll with it and see where we go.
County 911, what's the location of your emergency? 1858 South Waco. 1858 South Waco? Yes, ma'am. What's your name? I'm sorry? What is your name? Alexis Lister. Alright, Alexis, I've got 559-0550 as a callback. Yes. Okay, tell me exactly what happened. I have my neighbor here. She's in hysterics. She said her ex tried to come and kill her, and he raped her. Okay. Does she need an ambulance? Do you need an ambulance? No. She doesn't know. He's at her house. Where does she live at? 1856 South Waco. Okay. She said he choked her. Okay. And you're at 1858? Yes, 1858 South Waco. What's your neighbor's name? Skylar Young. Is she black, white, Asian, and Hispanic? Black. Okay, how old is she? 24. And how tall is she? How tall are you? 5'9". Okay, she's 25. 25. What's she wearing? She has a gray sweatshirt on, black shorts, barefoot. Oh, she doesn't have any shorts, but she has to run off the house. Charlie. Okay, we're gonna get her some help, okay? Okay, thank you. You go sit down. I get that. Okay. Do you want Eunice to come to your house so they can attend to her? She's still here at my house, so probably, yeah. Okay. I'm not seeing her. That's the way she's going to be. What's his name? You said Taylor? Okay. What's his last name? Jackson. Is he black or Asian Hispanic? Okay. How old is he? Okay. Did you send medium or heavy? Okay. You said he's 5'8"? Okay. Tyler, what's he wearing, Tyler? Okay. Did he have any weapons on him? Okay. We're gonna get some help to your neighbor's house so you can get looked at, okay? And then we're gonna send some officers to your home to go and talk to you. Okay. Did he leave in a vehicle? Yeah. Okay, what kind of vehicle did he have? Okay, you don't know what vehicle he took? Okay. So, okay, we've got some units that are on the way. They're going to be there really, really soon, okay? Just take a deep breath. I know it's scary. You just got to take a deep breath, okay? I know. That sounds super scary. I'm sorry that happened to you, honey. I really am. Okay. Okay, we should have an officer pulling up any second. Okay, I'll go ahead and let you talk to them, okay? Alright, call back if anything changes with you, okay? Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Alexis. Call back if anything changes. Alright, bye.
Now, this call came in from her sister-in-law who lived next door to her. They had been neighbors for 5 years, and sister and sister-in-law for 5 years. So she runs over there. Alexis calls 911, and you can hear the victim in the background. That's who you hear in the background. And I think she does get onto the phone at some point during that call. Now, Alexis takes the stand after we hear the 911 call and says she had just gotten her kids to bed when she heard banging at the front door and help. Because there's a familial relationship there and they're neighbors, Skylar Young, the victim, comes into her house. They go into Alexis's bedroom. Skylar goes over into the corner and says, call 911. So she calls 911, and then you heard the rest. She says, someone tried to kill me, and she said my ex tried to kill me, and you heard it all. And Alexis did not have any conversation really that we didn't hear on that 911 call. So on cross-examination, it was brought out that she had no knowledge of any plans. She hadn't spoken to Skylar that day and had no knowledge of any plans that Skylar had with this person that night, nor she had never even knew who this guy was or had never met him. So then we get to hear from the witnesses, the responding officer, who kind of takes her under his wing, and he's being very kind to her, very, very kind to her, because she's pretty upset. And at some point between the 911 call and the cops getting there, and the dispatcher did stay on the phone with her until they got there, at some point, someone put some pants on her, some pajama pants, some red plaid pajama pants that were not hers, but she's wearing something in this body cam footage that were shown. And we get to see her, and we get to see them interacting. And at some point, other officers start to arrive. The female officer that we do hear, she takes a stand later on. Her involvement was very limited. She finds out who the potential perpetrator is. She goes into her car, does some research, finds his driver's license, pulls it up on her phone, blows it up so the details of the driver's license aren't visible, but shows it to Skylar Young, and she says, yes, that's him. Now, the first thing this officer does is ask her permission. Can I send somebody over to your house to make sure that he's not still there? She's like, he's not still there. Yeah, you can send some people over. So they actually searched that house to make sure nobody was still there. After that was done, he takes her over to the house to get some clothes, because he said, we're going to want to take everything you're wearing as evidence. So you're going to need to have some more clothes. So he takes her over there, helps her get her clothes, her water bottle. She points out where it occurred. And then he accompanies her to the hospital, where she undergoes a sexual assault evaluation and examination by a nurse that's qualified to do that. And we're going to hear her take the stand later on. Once all that's complete, he takes a statement from her. And I want to play now that she's calmed down a little bit, she's no longer hysterical. Here is what she said happened.
This is Officer KN2ID 2733. This is going to be in reference to case number 23C153867. We are going to be at the St. Joe Hospital right now, and with me is...
Skylar Young.
You might have to be a little bit louder.
Skylar Young.
What's your date?
05/31/98.
Okay. And so you said that he had started texting you today, and that was why was that unusual to you?
Because the last time we talked, he told me not to talk to him anymore.
Okay, when was that?
I don't know.
Was it a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago?
A couple months ago.
A couple months ago? Okay. Did he say why he didn't want you to talk to him anymore?
We keep going in this cycle of not being together. Yeah.
And so then what happened today? What was he texting you today?
He texted me and I just asked why he was talking to me. And he kept trying to apologize. And I wasn't having it. Then he asked if he could call me when he got off or FaceTime me. And I said I don't want to FaceTime, but I guess you could call me. Then he called me. And he's talking. And then he all of a sudden says, "Can I call you back?" And I say, "Sure," and I hang up. And then my cameras go off.
Your camera's on the front door?
Yes. And I'm like, okay, because I can't hear the door from my room. So I just went to go see who it was. And I opened the door, and he comes in.
What about did he already have the screen door open?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then you said he comes in, does he like push you out of the way, or does he push the door open?
No, he grabs my hands.
He grabbed your hands?
Yeah, and I'm backing away from him. So he continues forward into the house.
Are you saying anything during this?
Yeah, I ask him why he's here and that he shouldn't be here. And I keep telling him, like, you shouldn't be here, you need to leave. And I was going to bed, so I just had shorts and a t-shirt on. So I kept asking him to leave. And he keeps asking me to talk to him. So I'm like, well, go outside and I'll put on clothes and I'll come talk to you out there, but I don't want you in my house. And it goes back and forth like that.
How long do you think?
For a minute or two.
Okay.
And then he closes the door and locks it. And and he keeps trying to pull me to him and I'm pushing him away. And then he got angry and he started choking me.
Would you say he started choking you? Was he like, what was he doing exactly?
He had both hands around my throat.
Both hands around your throat? Were they like this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And he pushed me against the door. And he was choking me.
What door did he push you against?
The front door.
The front door, okay.
And I couldn't breathe. And I was trying to fight him, and he was yelling at me to shut the fuck up.
When you say you were trying to fight him, were you like punching him or scratching him?
I was trying to get his hands off my throat
Okay.
because I couldn't breathe. And I kept telling him I couldn't breathe. And then he grabs my hands and he pulls me towards the couch. And I'm trying to fight him off. I'm trying to reason with him. And then he throws me face down onto the couch. And he pulls my shorts down.
Does he pull them down or does he break them off of you?
The first time he pulled them down. And then he raped me.
Okay, so he pulled them down. Did he pull them all the way off of you?
No.
Or by your knees?
And about my knees.
By your knees, okay. And then you said he raped you. What do you like? Did he vaginally, anally?
Vaginally.
Vaginally, okay. Was he behind you when you were face down?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then I got him to stop, and he flipped me over to face him, and I'm still sitting on the couch. And
I know, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know this isn't easy to talk about.
I'm trying to reason with him, and I'm tell him he's hurting me. And I'm like, you say you love me. If you love me, please stop. And I tell him he's raping me and he doesn't care. And I'm like, look at me, you're not thinking straight. Please stop, you're hurting me. And he gets angry. And he tries to put it in my mouth, but I don't let him.
What do you mean he tries to put it in your mouth? Like,
He tried to grab my face, but
did he try to like move your head towards his genitals?
yes.
Yeah.
And he's standing and I'm sitting and I'm telling him to stop and get off me. And when he gets mad and he hits me
Where does he hit you
on the side of my head.
at? Does he hit you with his open hand or a closed fist?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's okay.
And he keeps telling me to shut the fuck up. And I'm trying to talk to him and I'm crying. And then he gets angry and he chokes me again.
Does he do that again with two hands or
Yeah.
one hand?
Does it again, and then he took one hand off and he tried to put it over my mouth to stop me from crying. He gets upset and that's when he rips the shorts. And then he raped me again.
Vaginally again?
Yeah. And then he flips me over and does it again to where I'm back face down. And I eventually push him off me and where
How were you able to push him off? Do you remember?
I just
You don't know. That's okay. That's okay. What happens when you push him off of you?
I gotta stand and he keeps trying to pull me and push me and I'm fighting him and
Was he standing or was he
he
sitting?
was standing, so I'm pushing him off me and I'm slowly trying to think of how to get out. And I'm slowly moving to the door while he's trying to grab me. And he tries to choke me again and I get his hands off my throat and he takes a few steps back and that's when I ran out the door to my sister-in-law's house.
And then you said that he was saying some other things to you. What was he saying to you during this whole process?
He told me to shut the fuck up. He told me he drove all this way for me. He's while he was raping, he said, "Oh, you want me to leave? Why are you so mad?" He asked if my boyfriend was there.
Did he ask if your boyfriend was there during or before?
Before, when he first walked in. And then while he was doing it, he said he was mad because I gave his pussy away to someone else.
Did he say anything else? No, it's okay. And then you were able to get up and run out the door. And then he left while you were at your sister-in-law's house.
Yeah, I just had on a t-shirt and then
How'd you get the pants?
these are hers.
Those are her pants.
Yeah,
And then you saw him leaving on the camera.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Anything else happened that you think I should know about? Do you know if he ever wore a condom or anything like that? You don't know?
He did it.
He didn't?
No,
Do you know if he ever ejaculated or anything?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Alright. I think that's good enough, okay? Remember to finish this one. This is Officer Cantu. Time is.
So once this was all done, this officer, so nice, he drives her back home. So the next person on the stand is Skylar herself, and that is what I'm going to cover in the next episode. episode. Yes, episode 2 of the case of Kaylin Jackson. I could cram it all into one, but I know you don't want to sit here for hours. So come back tomorrow for episode 2, and you'll get to hear what she says on the witness stand happened. And we're going to get a little bit of a flavor for an explanation of what the defense is. You don't want to miss this, because I'm telling you how to pick my jaw above the floor. Let's just say that. All right. See you in the next episode. Bye, everybody.